And we're live just like that. And guess what? In the chat right now, first hashtag. I had it ready. See
Oh,
how
look,
good I am with this?
you're on top of it.
I'm on top of it, man. Now, I am not announcing bourbons right now because I am holding off until our guest arrives because I've got some samples here in front of me and I don't want to taint my tongue before we get started with those. So, um, gosh, I had something I was going to say, and I started looking at my phone here to make sure I've got my notifications turned on. But how you been,
I've
Mr.
been doing
Grayshot?
pretty good.
All
It
right.
it cooled off here just a little bit.
Yeah, let me
I
make
mean,
sure these are alarms are on. Oh yeah, they're all set. So set this over here and let it beep at me here to keep me honest through this. Tonight's guest, though, is going to be Shane Long from Storytime Distillery. He did send me five samples. I've got them right here. I'll just tell you that it's one of them is called the Port Night. Now, of course, he's going to explain more about these, but
mm,
this one's called the Port Night. It's 110 proof, 4.5 year old port finished. Then we have the Port Night Rises, 118 proof, 6.5 year port finished. I'm assuming it's the same one that stayed in the barrel a couple of years longer
mm,
and gained a little proof. This one I'm really excited about. So this one's called Old Dragon Bones.
I've
It's
heard of that one.
147.2 proof, 16-year-old rye.
Hazmat.
Right there. That will take nail polish off right there.
Yep.
Then this one's called Friday at Fred's Cigar Batch, 120 proof, 6.5 year old cognac finished. And then this one just says Christmas 21, and
Mm,
that may be what I think it is, but we'll verify with him when he gets here. But let me give a shout out to folks in the chat. We've got well, of course you're in there and me. But we got Crazy Ann. We have Mike Carrier. Hey, what's up? Kitty 303. Sheba B. That's Lori. Um, let's see. Mr. Fulton Mraz. BC Herbs. And Newfoundlander Ingalls family. Welcome all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The hashtags tonight are top 10 craft distilleries. And
okay.
if you're unfamiliar with how this show goes, every so often, and once the guest gets here, it's every 10 minutes, we do a spin on the StreamYard giveaway tool for 10 entries to the quarterly drawing.
Hmm.
If you put in the hashtag that I paste into the comments, and right now I'll paste it again. It won't give me another entry because I'm already there. But it's Town Branch. And so these are the top 10 craft distilleries according to Uprocks, the website. So it's the UPROXX in all caps.
Hmm.
That's the
Never heard of
website.
it.
Anyway, what their criteria was is they're a still smaller players than your big uh,
Uh-huh.
bourbon machines, but they do everything in house,
Okay.
including aging. So the documentary film I shot on Lincoln Pinch, the uh, distillery in Franklin, Kentucky,
Hmm.
dueling grounds, they wouldn't be considered because they utilize someone else's for aging.
Oh, okay.
It's all in house. So these are the top 10. Of course, starting with number 10, and that's Town Branch. Most of these, if you're a bourbon head at all, you've heard of them. But some of them are a little harder to get your hands on than others.
I haven't heard of Town Branch.
Oh, I have a bottle sitting on my shelf back here.
Hmm.
It's pretty decent stuff.
Yeah.
Um, now, Town Branch, I will say, is more middle of the road
Hmm.
type flavors. They don't stick their neck out there,
Oh, okay.
much.
Uh,
They're trying
yeah.
to have a good, decent product. But I kind of prefer the ones that kind of, hey, let's intrigue you a little bit.
Yeah.
I do
I'm
see
with you.
Shane in the basement. We'll bring him up here in just a little bit. But so we have our guest waiting. and we'll go over these bourbons again here in a few minutes. But right now, we're trying to give away the first. And if you're unfamiliar, that's how you get entries. Now at 8 p.m. After we talk to our guests, we will do, and everybody gets 5 entries to the wheel. All you have to do at that point in time is put me in the chat, and we'll get you down. I see Jimmy's random content is here. Big Daddy H is here. I'm just trying to make sure I catch up on the chat every once in a while and keep an eye on that. And Mark, if you want to highlight a comment at any time, you can feel free to do that. Click on a comment and it'll bring it up on the screen. So if I miss something and someone's asking me a question, just pop it up there and I'll get to it if I'm in the middle of a conversation. But yeah, we are in for a treat tonight. At least I am, and I hope y'all enjoy, because I'm going to try some of these tonight. But I'm going to let Shane tell me about them before I crack them open.
I think you'll have to show me how to do that sometime, because I can't do it. Storytime's in there right now, Shane.
Yeah, he's down there. But so are you on an iPad?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I was just like I can hover over the chat on StreamYard, and I can click a comment and it will come up on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Like I just did.
If I just touch it like Shane's, it just pulls up, go to channel, report, remove, put user in timeout, or hide user.
All right. Well, you're supposed to be a co-host now, but you are also on an iPad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably going to need to be on a laptop or something.
Oh, okay.
To do that, but we won't worry about that. I'll drive the space shuttle. That's okay. But now, so the prizes. Let me go over some prizes. Funky Uncle John is here. So the next quarterly drawing is going to be on December 1st, and that's a Thursday. I do collect entries over a 3-month period, and then we have prize night. And there's going to be no guests on prize night. It gets crazy in here on prize night, and I give away more entries and all that for the next quarter, and give everybody a little boost start on that night. You do have to be present to win. The first prize is a 24-note nosing kit, 3 sample bourbons marked A, B, and C of varying flavor profiles, note profiles that get more intense as you get to C, and a virtual private tasting with me, where I can walk you through the nosing kit, how to use it, and help you walk through those 3 bourbons. And then you get a crystal whiskey glass like this one that is, I don't call it Glencairn, because this is not a Glencairn. I don't use those. It's a heavier bottom whiskey snifter.
Okay.
But the one you'll get is acid etched with my logo.
Awesome.
And if I can get the dang 3D printer going, it'll be 3D or laser etched on it.
Oh, nice.
But for now, what's up, Chatty? Oh, member for 6 months. Yeah, and the Bottled and Bond Club, and I am getting those logos ready. 6 months means in the Bottled and Bond Club, you get a snifter.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So I'll be sending snifters to the members of the channel who have been members for 6 months. So
excellent.
That's the Bottled and Bond Club. Now, the one above that is for serious bourbon heads. That's the Allocated Elite Club. Now, that one there, you get something every 6 months, ongoing, in perpetuity. But it's also a little pricey, and it includes samples and all kind of things. But so second prize on the quarterly drawing is 2 ounces of your choice and a glass. And third prize is just the glass. On prize night, if you are not a channel member, you do have to be present to win. If you are a channel member, you do not. Active channel member. And I check it the night of the thing, and I write the channel members' names down, and they do not have to be present to win. If any of those names come up, I will contact them and get them their prize. But if you're not a channel member, you do have to be present, and we give you about a minute to shout out in chat to say, hey, I'm here, and then I have you email me. And my email address is scrolling across the bottom on prize night. So, but otherwise, if anyone is interested, in possibly being a guest on the show. It's bourbonbounty2019 at gmail.com. Just send me an email, but I will warn you, I am booked out right now up into December. So, and I'm steadily booking folks on the show. So it's going to be, it gives us time to prepare. That's one thing.
Mhm.
But I do have to make a thumbnail and I have to get all that ready. And I do have some questions for Shane tonight if things get in a lull. But we are about to spin here in just a minute for Town Branch. And then right after that, I'm going to get the other spin ready, and then we'll bring our guest up for the night. But let me go ahead and share my screen. And I'm going to StreamYard giveaway right here. And I will actually start collecting comments, and it's come up to 12 right now. So if it lands on me, also, Lori's here, Sheba B. She is visually impaired. She can't always get the hashtags in. If it lands on me, she gets those entries. But I also spin again. So that's another little quirky rule I need to go over. But here we go. Good luck, everybody. Bad Axe Bourbon is here. And don't worry if you miss this spin, there'll be another one coming up here shortly. And that's Lori. So let me write it down.
Congrats, Lori.
All right. And now I'm going to draw again. And we are landing on Big Daddy H. Gets the first 10 entries of the night. Big Daddy H. All right, let me get stop sharing and I'll get this next one set up right here. All right, and we will paste it in right there. And as soon as it pastes, I'm going to go ahead and highlight it so people know what it is. Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
But without further ado, let's bring our guest up for the night and welcome Shane Long. How are you doing?
Hey, good. Can you guys hear me?
Welcome, sir. Cheers.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good. I've been messing with my setup, so I just want to make sure everything's working okay.
Oh yeah, it's working. I did shout out the samples that you sent me to everyone a little bit earlier, but I'm going to go through them again because I'm very interested in one in particular. But I'm going to start from the way I have them lined up here. So I have the Port Night, 110 proof, 4.5-year-old port finished. I have there it is. I have the Port Night Rises, 118 proof, 6.5-year port finished. I'm assuming those are the same match.
Nope.
Okay. See, that's why I'm asking. And then I have this is the one that's really got my interest peaked right here. Old Dragon Bones, 147.2 proof, 16-year-old rye.
Oof.
Now that's one to have on the shelf right there.
I've heard good things about that one.
And then I have Friday at Fred's Cigar Batch, 120 proof, 6.5-year cognac finished. There it is.
Yep.
And this one just says Christmas 21.
And you know what that is.
Oh, I know. And I was going to verify, but yeah.
That one's for you to have at your leisure. So
there you go. And I'm going to slide it right back over there.
That's right.
Because my other one's gone, so that one's going to be one that I enjoy over time. Doug H is in the house. How's it going? Chatty O's here. If I miss anybody, Groovy's here. I apologize, but so I'm going to pour a little. Which one should I pour first?
Let's start off with the Port Night.
Okay, the Port Night. That's the way I had it lined up right here.
Good, and that's the one I'll have with you.
Well, I can tell you what, you don't skimp on it. That thing is to the top. All right, now I'm just going to pour. I'm just going to pour a little.
Yeah, that's fine. I try to keep it about 1/2 to 3/4 of an ounce, but I always end up getting a little bit more, so whatever.
That's dark.
All right, that was my alarm to bring you up, but
Oh,
you're
well,
already here, so.
there you go. Yeah, I never get tired of this one.
Ooh.
It's one that never, like, a lot of the stuff I try to do is stuff that just like captures you and like makes you take a step back and go, whoa, what is this? And
Yeah.
this didn't exactly do that for me, but it is a rock solid port finished bourbon. It's from Starlight Distillery, which is in Indiana, part of the Huber Farms. If you guys ever go to Indiana, you want to go to a distillery tour, that's one I would highly recommend. They're a full grain to glass distillery. Their primary business is agriculture and wine, and then it morphed into now they're distilling whiskey and other spirits.
So to let you know, Shane, I do a top 10 list every week so that people can get hashtag entries to the quarterly drawing. And Starlight, they made the list here. This week is top 10 craft distilleries. And the criteria for it was soup to nuts, like they distill, they age, they bottle, they do everything there on
All
site,
in-house.
in-house. So they are on the list, and surprising, not surprising, but according to what you just said, they're very high on the list.
Yeah.
They could potentially be the number one.
They're a great distillery. There's no doubt about it. They in a couple more years they're going to be one of the forefront distilleries. I believe they're going to be in probably the top 10 total bourbon distilleries, just because they're going to start getting some good age. They're already putting out good stuff, but then they're going to start getting into that category where things start getting great. You know, like the stuff that we hunt for, that is the top shelf legendary bottles. You're going to start seeing that stuff in the next couple of years.
So while I'm in, because I thoroughly enjoyed that first sip right there on this. For folks that may be in the chat that don't know, can you tell folks kind of just brief description of what you do and what you're into and Storytime?
Okay, so Storytime is what they call an NDP. It's a non-distilling producer. I'm in the process now of getting my commercial brand ready for release. That's what will go out in liquor stores. Currently, the only bottles that I deal with are through our Authors Guild, which is our private bottle group. And that will go on forever. That will, even after the distillery takes off and we're doing, if we get to massive commercialization of any kind, the Authors Guild will still keep going. And it'll always be special barrel releases that are just exclusively for those members. The distillery part, where I'm at in that process, is now I've built several relationships now. Now I'm in the process of finalizing kind of some financial pieces. And then we're looking at really probably second quarter next year is when we would start shipping cases for the brand is actually, it'll be called Crooners Whiskey.
Okay.
That'll
Crooners?
be the crooners, like the singers.
I got you.
Yep. And that really represents well what I think about, where this company is going. Like, I really want to target that next generation. If you go to a lot of whiskey places now, or distilleries or whatever, they really focus on that Prohibition era. Like, there's a lot of things that focus on the Prohibition era. I'm really looking at kind of that next gen, which is that Vegas lounge singer generation, where it's more of a lifestyle. It's more about sharing the moments with people and telling great stories, right? And that's what crooners were. They're the greatest storytellers ever. So that was kind of the whole motivation behind creating Crooners Whiskey.
Okay,
Awesome.
gotcha.
So now I take it you travel around a lot.
Yeah, more than I'd like to.
Yeah. So I was interested in bourbon barrel picking. I mean, do you just try a lot of whiskey and then do you buy but you buy barrels, true?
Yeah. So it's so on the single barrel side, it's you go there, you're looking for something, or you're whatever. It's a very fine tooth kind of a thing, and you're saying, okay, I want something like I told you to wow me. I want it to be something that sets people back, and those are what's going to be available for the Authors Guild. The barrel purchasing side is a little different. That one, you go out, there's a market, there's essentially a broker's market, and you say, okay, I am in the market for 60 barrels, and I want these mash bills at these ages, and the brokers go find those for you, or they may already have them. And and a lot of times with the way it's working right now, because the market's so crazy, is instead of you going and asking, you pretty much just get a weekly report from the brokers. Hey, this is what we've got, and it changes daily. It's amazing how many barrels are moving in and out of inventory right now.
Wow. Are you, where are you primarily sourcing from? Like in Kentucky, or are you coming down here to Texas? Or was there's another one, not MGP anymore. There's another one down here in Texas that sources lots of big barrels and stuff, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's open. Like you go, the brokers will get barrels from anywhere. Like I can say specific mash bills from regions. I can say I want a Kentucky straight bourbon, right, or a Kentucky straight rye. They have those. If I want something like MGP, Indiana, that 21% and 36% rye mash bills, I can ask for those. They're getting harder and harder to get, especially over 4 years. They're getting really hard to get.
Yeah.
Old Dragon Bones, for instance, when we get into that one, that's a Canadian rye. But it's what they call a barely legal rye. It's 53% rye. But it's 16 years old, and then we double oaked it. So we put it in a new char 4 barrel for about 6 to 8 months. And then that's when it went hazmat. That's when it went over the 140 proof.
Yeah.
That one was one, you know what a barrel looks like. I had to get down to the bottom third of the barrel with the drill before anything even started coming out. That's how much evaporation and angel share there was. So good thing about that is this was such a hit. I've got 4, almost 5 totes of that whiskey. The next batch that's in barrels right now for next year is 17-year-old. So it's even a year older than this stuff. And so we're going to be able to keep doing Old Dragon Bone, which is going to be a lot of fun. And the response has been really good. So that's exciting.
So how many bottles did you get out of that barrel on the Old
125, and it was out of 2 barrels.
Oh, wow.
2 barrels were 125 bottles.
Wow.
Dang. At some point,
angels.
I hope you got a good deal on that barrel.
Well, I'll tell you, you are not going to make money selling single barrels.
No,
won't happen. And that was never the intention, right? That club truly is for the community to get access to great whiskey. And again, I always try to target decent pricing. I don't chase the market. I don't follow it that way. I fix it. It's cost, then margin to cover costs, and that's it.
Yep. So I finished the first one here.
Okay.
I didn't pour a lot of it.
Well, the next one I would tell you to do is go the Port Night Rises.
Okay. Yeah.
And to me, so Port Night is fantastic. It's especially a good cigar smoker. It's really good. Port Night Rises is now 2 years older, different mash bill, different distillery, but also port wine finished.
Okay.
To me, it's a step up, I think, and it's going to be cheaper than what the Port Night was. That's probably my only rub with some of the craft distilleries. They have to keep their prices really high to stay affordable. So you're getting a 4.5-year-old in the Port Night for like $70, and you're going to get a 6.5-year-old in the Port Night Rises for about $70. So that's kind of where it's at. To me, I personally like the Port Night Rises better. That would be, if I had a choice between those two, that's the one that I would go to.
Yeah, there's a little more a darker molasses kick on the nose on the Port Night Rises.
Yep. And that's going to be primarily that MGP mash bill. That's so the Starlight mash bill leans more towards like a single malt. to me. It's a lot more sterile and controlled, where the MGP is a lot more of an organic palate profile, and you get all kinds of funky flavors with it because the way it interacts with the barrels just does a lot differently than what I've seen from Starlight. Starlight's very consistent, like very, very consistent.
I hate to interrupt right quick, but I need to spin this wheel. So my alarm went off. So let me share this screen right quick, and we'll get this hashtag entry out of the way, and I'll set up another one, and then we can continue this conversation. But for now, good luck, everybody, on Watershed. And we'll see who's going to get the 10 entries. We are landing on Kitty 303. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Let the confetti settle down a little bit. I don't want to jip you out of your confetti, and then I'll set the next one up. I'd
like to offer up a bottle of the Port Night as a giveaway tonight.
Oh, awesome.
Put that in one of your wheel spins.
Awesome.
All right, this one does have a dot at the end. Please make sure, if you're not copying and pasting, that you are including the period at the end of Burroughs. If you're on a mobile device, all right, well, there's Jimmy needs some spins. And here's the other way. I don't shout this out a lot, but I give you 5 entries per dollar on any super. So I'm going to write Jimmy's random content down here.
Yep.
And I have to write the whole thing because I don't want to get it wrong later. And Jimmy's random content gets 25 entries to the quarterly drawing right there.
And I apologize, Mark. I didn't know you were going to be on. I would have gotten you samples out too. So
no worries.
Yeah. We're passing stuff back and forth.
I'm going for the expensive stuff today.
Hey, there you go. That's
there was only that much left in the bottle. We got to finish it off, you know.
That's like water in Texas.
Yeah, it is, and cheap water at that.
That's right.
Ooh, I finally took a sip of that Port Night Rises. That is good.
Yeah,
that is really good.
Griffey's in for $9.99.
Oh yeah, I got him.
Okay,
I got him. I got his entries down.
Yeah. So to me, the MGP palette really accentuates this well. Like it's such a good play with that port, and it's diversely different than the Starlight, even though it's they're both bourbon mash bills, similar bourbon mash bills actually, but 2 years and different, a different yeast strain and the whole 9 yards. So I love what the Port Night Rises does. Now, just so you know, the Port Night Rises and the Friday at Fred's cigar batch have not been released yet.
Okay.
So they're coming. They just have not been released yet.
Well, I feel very special here sipping on this. Okay, it does. It has. I think the finish is longer on the Port Night Rises than the Port Night.
I would agree.
And that's pleasant because I'm still getting it back there.
Nice.
It's a dark, sweet, peppery note in the back.
Yeah, and you can just chew on it for a while.
I like a good whiskey that has a nice, long, lingering finish to it.
Yep, and that's what I call a good cigar pour. Because I want that lingering finish when I'm drawing that, off of a good cigar.
Yeah. So there's the label that's going to be for that bottle if you want to show it.
All right. Wow.
I tried to make it look like a Batman poster. That's the Chicago skyline.
Nice.
Cool. So who's the Batman in the picture there?
Well, that's Tim Evans. If anybody goes on Whiskey Tube,
okay,
that is Tim Evans.
All right.
Yeah.
I was wondering because I saw the little mustache line and I thought, is that you?
Nope, it's Tim Evans. And then if I can. Where's it at? When we get to the Friday at Fred ones, I'll show you that one as well.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'm pouring a little tiny bit here, about a third of what you gave me. So I'm finishing them pretty fast, but I don't want to get over tanked because I've got a 147.2 proof coming up. And
there's a junkyard dog waiting for you.
Yeah. So what's this next one down here? Do you want me to bring it up or do you want me to wait?
Oh, you can if you want.
Okay. Oh, that's Friday at Fred's.
So that's the cigar batch. That's Fred and Doug H. Doug H. who's in chat. He's the one in the background there.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and finish this Port Night Rises, and I'm going to pour a little of that Friday at Fred's.
Yeah.
Oh, if I can get the lid to turn. I mean, I thought I was going to have to go get my little bottle opener thing. Like, it didn't leak.
I figure with all that guitar picking, you'd have some strong fingers by now.
Oh, they're strong enough. And you don't know how many twist off Bud Light, Miller, all that I've done my entire life. So I got a pretty good little grip there. Actually, I think those twist off beer caps are pretty easy because you can get a lock on it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll dig in. What's up, Art by Sparkle? And again, if I don't have time to shout out everybody, I apologize. But let me get a little swirl on this and get a nose on it.
Steam, Fire, and Ice.
Now this one is probably my most. I'm most. I don't know, proud of this. This one is one that I would drink all the time. Literally all the time. It would go with everything for me. And the problem with this bottle is once you get into it, you can just keep going and going and going, and it's so easy to drink.
And 120 proof.
Yeah, it's 120 and almost 121, 120.5.
Okay.
But it doesn't drink like that, and it's so good. It's so enjoyable. It just goes.
Well, what I was going to say is it doesn't nose like that either. I mean, it is very soft on the nose.
Yep.
I'm digging in. I'm getting down in there.
Yeah. What was that, Mark?
What was the age on that one?
That's the same as the other.
Yeah, 6.5.
Same mash bill as the Port Night Rises. Wow. It's that 6.5-year-old, 21% rye bourbon mash bill.
Okay.
A bourbon troublemaker.
Well, Cindy, we like rebels up here. You know that. I brought you up before.
Responsible for getting expensive.
Oh wow, that is really good. Yeah. It is soft, like you said, it's very easy to drink. You don't imagine you're drinking 120 proof.
Yeah, it's one of those crushable bottles, huh?
Very crushable. It goes fast, I will tell you.
It would crush your life if you crushed the whole thing in one night.
The crazy thing about this is I blinded it with a couple people against some cigar blends, which are the Joseph Magnus, one of the notorious cigar blend, the Cognac and Armagnac and those, and it's beat them, and it's about a third the price.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's to me, that's exactly what I want to accomplish.
Oh yeah.
Right? High quality, great tasting, crushable bottles that you can afford, that you can break out with your friends, and you ain't got to worry about it when you walk away. You ain't got to go, oh shoot, I want to make sure I take my Joseph Magnus back home with me because I paid $200 for it.
Right.
You're breaking that thing out with your friend, and by God, you're killing it. That's the point. That's how those stories get made.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm big on that. Doug H, let me write this down.
Shane, how do we get some of your bottles?
Well, you got to go to storytimedistillery.com, and then you sign up for the Authors Guild. Okay. That's the private group, and it costs. You can either do $100 a year or it's $10 a month. It has to be a private club. That allows me to get around a lot of legal stuff
I got you.
because now it becomes a club and it's not a retail store, if you will. And that's what allows us to get these great bottles to you.
Gotcha.
And I'll tell you, we've had several bottles that we've released show up on secondary for 3 and 4 times what we charged.
Oh, wow.
And
never
this
get
old
secondary.
Dragon Bones, I did not. So I hated this bottle because of the price. It's $150, but it's a 16-year-old double oaked rye.
Yeah.
Price wise,
And
that's still way below market, like way below market.
hazmat
Oh,
too.
yeah, absolutely.
And hazmat, right?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I hate to interrupt. I need to spin this before we get too far, and hold that thought, please, and we'll get right back to it. But sorry about the interruptions here, but this is a giveaway show, and we are going to give away Leopold Brothers entries to the quarterly drawing. Good luck, everybody, and see who we're going to land on here. Let's have it. Kitty 303 again. Now,
That's twice.
Here's the point in the show where I say, Kitty 303, completely welcome to keep entering, and we'll get her entries if it lands on her. But if it lands on anyone a third time, I give them the entries, but I also spin again because I want other people to have a chance to hit entries.
Mm-hmm.
And this happens quite frequently. And here is our next. Now, the top 10 list is the top 10 craft distilleries that do everything in-house, according to Uprock's website. So there we go.
Laws.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a
So
store picking
continue
them by me.
with that thought there.
Yeah, I don't even remember where I was now.
We lost the thought. That
Yeah, well.
happens on bourbon shows.
Yeah. Well, I know what it was. We were talking about the price of this. So these,
Oh, yeah.
I sold these for $150.
Yeah.
Which is really, when you get into it, you're gonna see that it's pretty special. Well, the bottle showed up at a bottle share in a Chicago back room, a speakeasy, for lack of better words. And so then the rumor got out. Then all of a sudden, I had a bunch of guys from Chicago try and buy all the bottles off they all signed up. And it was just, I saw it. Fortunately, I saw it and I cut it off because they would have bought them all. They literally bought them all. And I had to text the guy and say, look, I'm not selling you all of them. I'll sell you a few. Well, lo and behold, they're selling them for $350 on secondary market.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lori, after the show, I'll send it to you.
Thank you, Joe.
Yep, there it is. He just put it down there. Storytimedistillery.com.
Now I have a new music video coming out tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Do tell.
So I did like my first foray into this whiskey tube was I did a parody video on the Old Carter Batch 6 American, which I think I shared that with you last time. I'd sent you some samples, maybe not, but anyway. So it's been a while. People have asked about it, and I'd been working on a couple, and I just kind of let them all get shelved. Well, with me focusing back on Storytime Distillery full time, because that's something I wasn't doing. I was using, maintaining my career and doing the distillery with Chris Luddig from Big League Bourbon. Well, he had to step out because his home life and family life got too busy, and he needed to reprioritize. So now it's just me. So I kind of have to make this decision. Am I going to do this full time and make it right? Or am I going to shut down the distillery part and just do the barrel club? Well, right now I'm doing the distillery, so I'm focusing on that. So in an effort to kind of rejuvenate and things like that, I did another music video, and it'll be premiering tomorrow at 7 p.m. on YouTube.
Awesome. Tomorrow at 7. Okay.
Yep.
I need to. And what channel is that going to be on?
Well, here, I'm glad you asked. Here, I'll share my screen. You can see there's the picture for it. It's I think, what is it? Yeah, Storytime.
Oh, so it is. You have a YouTube called Storytime.
Yep,
Okay.
YouTube.
Yep. So that's it.
Yeah,
Tomorrow night at 7.
I will say this today. I didn't have a lot of time. I'm in budget season right now with my real job. So
All right.
it's kind of like if I don't budget right, nobody gets paid next year, and they all quit. But but now I tried to look up Storytime, and I didn't filter for channel. Like I was doing it in a hurry. And when I search Storytime, man, you get so many hits from appearing on so many different channels and everything. I was like, whatever. I'll look it up later. But I'm glad that you put that up there, and I'll filter for channel only, and then put that in there and find it.
Yeah. So I did all the music and the singing, and then all the video work. So it's a fun little project to do.
So you and I have talked before about me shooting a documentary film, and I'm still interested in doing that. And of course, I got into doing that documentary film with Dueling Grounds Distillery. Yep. Of course, he's not an NDP. I mean, he has pot stills, and he's double pot stilling the bourbon. And so I shot that one, but you're actually closer to me than he is, and. But yeah, I want to be able to do that, especially, and you had told me that back then that you were getting close to releasing, and that's what I wanted to do is shoot one, and then right as you're building up to it, and then come back maybe a year later and say here's where we are now.
Yeah,
in the process.
Well, it's still a good time to do that. Ultimately, I'm still moving towards getting a still here and setting up everything on the facility, and as far as the facility goes here, that's coming. It's been a slow process because my job, and of course, then the breakup kind of the team. So it's still, we can still probably get a groundbreaking moment, and then like you said, in a year later, let's revisit and see where we're at, because I think it'll be quite a bit different.
Yeah, and I've already kind of started putting together a few things, because I started before, and then I got a hit from Dueling Grounds, and so I jumped on that, and the time was right to go do that. But it takes me about 6 to 8 months to put out the documentary. But I've got a leg up on you, because I've already started doing a little research, and we've talked a couple of times. So it may cut that down to maybe 4 months, to come out with final product.
Well, we'll have to get you to go on a pick with us then, so you can take some footage there.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm very interested. Now, there's still someone else also I've been trying to contact, and hour difference, and the only time I can contact this person, he does store picks for a liquor store, and I'm trying to get him as a guest on the show, and I'm also interested in talking to him about doing maybe a little more than just being a guest on the show as well. I'm trying to get into the giveaway show, the weekly reviews, and then documentary films, and that's pretty much it. And maybe a couple of shorts every once in a while.
That's really good. Awesome.
But I am about ready for this Dragon Bones, but I'm not going to pour it yet, because it's 7:28, and I'm going to get just ahead of the 7:30 alarm.
Yeah.
And we're at a lull right here, and I'm going to go ahead and share this, and we'll spin this 7:30 one here.
I don't know. That one may need just a little bit of airtime on that one.
Here we go. Good luck, everybody, with the 15 on the wheel. 2 of them are mine, by the way. So, because I simulcast Facebook and YouTube. So, all right, Steam Fire and Ice. Congratulations, Cindy. And I will
she is coming in with some.
All right, that gives her 10 entries. Let the confetti settle down, and then I'll set this next one up right quick. And again, if you're just joining, we're doing top 10 craft distilleries according to a certain website. And everything done in-house, from distilling to aging to bottling. So here we go with Chattanooga.
That's pretty good stuff. Some of it.
Well,
Frey Ranch on there?
What's that?
Frey Ranch, are they on there?
No, they didn't make the list. And in all honesty, they were ranking specific bourbons by these distilleries.
Oh, okay.
So, and I don't have room to put all of that in the chat. So I just
Yep.
put the distillery in. But I'm ready to pour Old Dragon's bones here. Woo! I'm excited about this. See, my alarm just went off and we just finished it.
Well, I will tell you a slight word of caution.
Uh-huh.
And the caution is this. The first sip is going to be aggressive.
Okay.
The second sip, not so much. The third sip, it's going to settle in. And it's going to drink like a 115 to 120 proofer.
Okay.
It's
Well,
not, it does not drink like a hazmat.
You know, I'm semi-pro, right?
You're gonna be pro after you drink this.
Okay. Now, I think this will be my first over 144.
Okay.
The highest I've had before this one was 144 proof.
Now, so I told you there was 125 bottles that came out of that, right?
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah, 109 are at what you've got right there, which is 147.2.
Yeah.
I told you there was 2 barrels, right, that produced 125 bottles. I took 15 bottles out of the higher proof of the 2 barrels and bottled them separately and created a special release. And these are 148 proof.
Woo!
Oh, wow.
There's only 15 of these. Actually, they're all. I think I've got one more that's available. These are more expensive. It includes like some special dragon glassware glasses, which are shaped like diamonds. And then there's a nice box that it goes in, and then that's a little handcrafted charm.
Oh,
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I just wanted to do something special because this was our first collaboration that was, and I was very excited for it. So, but yeah, there's only 15 of those,
and
just
it's gone now.
a slight bit of education for people. If you know the bourbon laws, you know it can't be barreled at a higher than 125 proof. But the longer it stays in the barrel, if you lose the water out of it, it will concentrate the alcohol level in that, and you'll end up with a higher proof. Depends on how much the Angels take.
That's right.
Yeah,
it went in the second barrel at 136 proof and came out at 148. So
right. Well, that's secondary barrel. So
that's
yeah,
right.
Yeah. Man, the thing I'm loving about this nose is I'm getting a fresh apple note barely. And that's of course there's the rye and the spice and all of that in there, but I'm getting this little fresh apple note, or maybe pear, right off the top of it. But I'm going to give it a taste here.
I went with a very, very, very small pour.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, wow, dude. I love high proof. Wow, I love high proof.
All of the flavor.
Oh,
yes.
Man. That is black cherry goodness, man.
It's just it'll change on you.
Yeah.
You get some good vanilla finish in it that kind of hangs on, and it starts sweetening out. Like I said, you get to that third sip, and you're going to be like, wow.
Yeah. So for those of y'all who don't know, Jimmy, formerly, I guess, Ojisan's World, Jimmy's Random Content, he won twice. He's won twice. He won the first nosing kit, and so he had nosing kit A, and he won last quarter, and he got nosing kit B. So I had announced before that I was going to do 3 nosing kits. But after putting together nosing kit B, nosing kit C is going to be even harder to put together, and because it's very hard to get aromas. So I'm probably not going to do nosing kit C. I'll probably come up with an alternate prize on that. But I put together these nosing kits from scratch. So I procure all of just like Shane here, I procure all of the elements that goes into the nosing kit.
There you go.
Nope. Doug H likes that old Dragon Bones.
Yeah. So
Dude, that is fantastic. That
it,
is.
it is pretty amazing. It's pretty
Mhm.
spectacular. That is one of those. It's funny, the story when we went in to pick that. We went to Backbone Bourbon, which is in Indianapolis, and we sit down and there's 8 samples set out before us. And we went through all 8 and they were all good. They were all really good. Don't get me wrong. Really, really good. But nothing that like grabbed a hold of me and said, you've got to buy this barrel. So I was like, and I told Nolan, the owner, I was like, man, Nolan, these are great, but I'm not, I really appreciate it, but I don't think we're going to pick any of these. And he goes, well, hang on. He says, I've got another barrel in the back. Maybe you'd be interested. And it's a 16-year-old rye. I'm like, why the hell didn't you tell us?
Yeah.
Like I would have started there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Come on now. Hold
so
out.
we go back, we drill in that thing, and I drink it, and we didn't know what the proof was. Like, and he didn't know what the proof was. So we drill in it, and I'm just like, oh my God, like this thing is like unreal. Like what is? So then I grabbed the little whatever it is, hydrometer.
Right.
The hydrometer. I check it. It's 144. I was like, are you kidding me? This is insane. So I was like, yes, we want this barrel. And he goes, well, I have another one there. That was the second one that I did the same thing with. So we tried that one. It was a little lower proof. Palate wasn't as complex. But when I saw where I had to drill, because the barrel's, this tall and I'm drilling like right here to get anything out, I was like, I'm going to have to take both barrels. Otherwise, I was only going to get like 60 bottles out of that thing.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was like, well, okay, we'll take them both. I'll figure out what we're going to do. At the distillery, I proofed it down. I proofed it down to 115, and it was awesome. And I will encourage you, if you get a little bit in, you want to try it again later, proof it down to 115 or ish. For that, just for reference, it's ½ ounce of water to 2 ounces of whiskey. So you can math that down to how much you put in there.
Right.
That'll get you 115. And it's phenomenal. It is just phenomenal at 115. But everyone was like, no, we want hazmat. We want that.
Yeah.
I said, okay, cool. Because you can all proof it down. That's perfectly fine. We'll sell it at cast strength and hazmat, and you can proof it down.
I have water. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You can always add water, but you can never take it away, right?
Exactly.
So
ice.
So we took both barrels. I took the 15 bottles out of the one barrel, and then the rest I blended it all together and then made what you have.
Man, that molasses turning to gosh, it's like and I know it's a rye, but it doesn't come across like a rye.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little rye spice in there. It's not a rye bomb for sure.
No, not at all.
Oh man, that is dark and good, and I love old age stuff too.
Yep.
If it's aged artfully, and it's not in too much heat, when it's aging and gets too many tannins or whatever.
So I will tell you, the other sample I sent you at Christmas, which you absolutely loved, which I love too, just a freaking phenomenal bottle. We're doing another edition of Christmas and Thanksgiving this year. It's a different stout that we're finishing the whiskey in. It's a Russian Imperial Stout from a brewery called Decipher in Virginia, in Charlottesville, Virginia. And those are currently sitting in the barrels now in Indianapolis with Backbone as well. And it's got a 5-year rye, a 95.5 MGP rye, and a 7-year light whiskey aging in Russian Imperial Stout. Those will be coming out right around Christmas time, right before Christmas time.
Awesome.
Another Christmas Thanksgiving release.
Well,
awesome.
Yeah, man. I need to speed up this timeline on shooting a documentary film.
I'm sorry. I'm still enjoying the cognac.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that is, like I told you, wow. Such a good
I
bottle.
have half of the Dragon Bones left.
Just for a second. I got to go get me something else.
Yep.
I'm afraid to grab anything off my shelf because it's going to taste like water after drinking that Dragon Bones.
Well, so here's the thing. I've always warned people, like, look, you go into hazmat, there's a high chance you're going to blow out your palate, especially when it's a hazmat rye.
Yep.
Which is extremely rare, by the way. I don't know if you know that.
Mhm.
You hear about hazmat bourbons, you almost never hear about a hazmat
Right.
rye. They're starting to come up, but it is rare. But I will tell you, Dragon Bones does not blow my palate out. I usually attribute it to the fact that I'm just a proof hound. Like, I drink barrel strength stuff all the time. So I'm like, oh, well, I'm just used to it. It doesn't blow my palate. Well, I've gotten confirmation from several people that it didn't blow their palate either. So that's kind of exciting because you can drink it. It doesn't have to be your absolute last drink of the night.
Oh, no, but you have to give it a few minutes in between. I mean, because the flavors are still there and they're lingering and they're very powerful notes that I'm getting. But I need to spin for this one. So let me share this screen out while we're enjoying these drams here. And we will get the next 10 entries given away for Chattanooga. Good luck, everybody.
Only Chattanooga guys at 111.
Oh, Funky Uncle John.
Funky
There
Uncle
we go.
John.
Let's see.
That's not what this is, though.
All right, Funky Uncle John. Now let the confetti die down, and I'll get this next one set up. So what Chattanooga do you have there?
I have the 111. That's not this. This is Balcones. Lineage. Pretty dark for young Austin, Texas whiskey. Oh no, this is Waco. Sorry.
All right, one comment again. This one does have the dot at the end. It has a period after bros, so don't miss that if you're typing it in.
Craft Nelson Brothers.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It made the list. It's not my list. I'm going off their list. So
Fair enough.
Don't shoot the messenger. I just,
All right, now I'm ready to join you on the Dragon Bones.
You know what? I'm going to pour another Dragon Bones. I'm going to drink this one tonight.
Oh, he's hooked already.
Time travel juice.
Yeah, I'm finishing this tonight. I'm pouring it right now.
Well, we'll just have to get you another sample out, I guess.
It's like that obtainium or something, huh? Time travel juice.
Well, and I don't want to do the obtainium after the Dragon Bones. I want it to be on a different day because I know it's gorgeous and I don't want it to be overwhelmed by anything else.
Yeah. So I love the obtainium light whiskey stuff is good. Obviously, there's several different iterations of it. If it's the MGP stuff, it's good. It's sweet. It does not contain the complexity that you get like with old Dragon Bones. Like that's
man.
And it would overshadow a light whiskey because it's just the palate is
absolutely
all over the place.
Right. Oh, and I just every time I take a sip of that Dragon Bones, I think of Todd from 21090, and how much he would trip over this because
Yeah. Top Chef Todd.
That is a really, really good pour.
I'm glad you enjoy that.
Man. And all of these are easy sippers for me. But
you just said that about 147 proof whiskey.
I know.
Think about that.
Think about it. Right. And I'm getting different fruit notes here and there. I'm getting some dark grape notes now, out of it, along with some of the like almost, it's like if you tried to make homemade caramel and you got the sugar almost to burnt, but you stopped it just in time. That's coming through on this.
Oh, okay. I bet that would take a little bit of time to let it open up some too. Get a little of that, the alcohol off of it, and it would even open up more.
I don't want the water alcohol. I want the alcohol.
Well, you can speed that up, Mark, with just a couple drops of water. You don't even have to be a lot, just a couple drops, and it'll start. It'll kick off that oxidation process, and that thing will just bouquet like crazy, and it turns into this like aroma bomb. You're like, oh my gosh, there's so much. It's like assaulting your face because it's just so much going on.
That's awesome. Living in the nose for a while.
I turned my volume up so I can hear you. I'm gonna go get a bottle of water right quick. And I'm gonna get my dropper, and I'm gonna put a drop or two of water.
There you go. I want to see what happens.
Heck yeah. I bet that's definitely gonna raise
Yeah,
it.
it really kicks off, man. It's like
Ooh, there we go.
the aromas are great. So you're in Texas, Mark.
Yeah, I'm down here in Austin.
Austin, fantastic city, Austin.
Yeah. From where I'm
Oh,
at right here, let's see, that way, if I showed you that way, you could
mhm.
see the downtown.
Hmm.
So from where I'm sitting on my back porch here, I can see downtown. I look to the right a little bit, I see the airport. I look more to the right, and I see the Circuit of the Americas, the racetrack.
Yep.
And then all the way to the left is Tito's, right across the street.
Oh, nice.
Which
Tito.
I made one of his first condensers for him when he
Oh,
was
no
first
kidding.
starting out. Yeah. I was working as a welder at the time, so I made one of his condensers. He came in.
You're a welder.
Oh yeah. Well,
That's
I'm jack of all trades guy, but I worked as a welder for years.
what are you certified to? 6G?
Uh,
6G TIG?
well, yeah, I like TIG better than any of them. I mean, I
Yeah,
can
for sure.
MIG, stick, whatever, but
Yeah.
give me my options. I'd rather do TIG. It's
TIG
so
is more
much
of an art
nicer.
form, man. It's just that
Yeah.
it's that walking the cup, and
Yep.
I
And you make
love.
such pretty welds with TIG.
Oh, yeah.
Most of the stuff I used to make down here, I made like stainless steel countertops, but then I got to a different company where I made um, all custom stuff. I mean, everything from blacksmithing work
Mm.
to a lot of like custom vent hoods and sinks, and out of
Oh, that's
copper and
fantastic,
stainless and bronze, nickel, silver, you name it. We made it out of everything. So
dude. That's fantastic.
it's always fun to be able to go into work and I'm welding copper today. Now tomorrow I'm
Right.
welding nickel silver, and now I'm doing bronze. And it's one thing after another. But the cool thing is it all lasts for hundreds of years.
Yeah,
If the finish goes bad, you clean it up. Oh, it's brand new.
that's right.
Oh, damn.
So it's pretty
What do you
cool.
think of
It's
that,
fun.
Jody?
Yeah, it took me a little bit longer. We're having our master bathroom renovated right now, so I had to clear my closet out because my closet's in the entry, and they're redoing the flooring, and so I had to clear. And I moved down here, and I have a clothing rack I got in here with all my stuff hanging on it, so I had to move it out of the way to get to the bottle of water. But anyway, it made it a little more floral. I can
Yeah.
pick up more of the rye notes in it now.
Mhm. Yep.
And before it was coming across like a mid rye bourbon, and now it's coming across like a rye.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, you're gonna definitely get the floral out of it for sure.
Oh
There you
yeah.
go.
And I only put 3 drops in. Yeah, that's lovely.
This
Dude,
is
that is
I'm sending
really
this to Jody. This is a little beer stein, like a redneck
that
beer
is
stein. It's like a
fantastic.
white mouth mason jar,
Yeah,
but this is nickel silver.
yeah. Did you hammer it?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that looks
Just
so good, dude.
hammer it, and then I put a screw up here so that
Nice.
the handle is screwed on with this little strap. That way, if you get too drunk, you drop and break it. It's a $2 mason jar. You just
That's
go
right.
get you another mason jar, put it, drop it in.
That's
Easy
beautiful,
peasy.
man. That is
So
beautiful.
fun
Well
stuff.
done.
That's just scrap metal there.
All right. So I had initially started with 3 drops. I put 2 more in. And of course, I'm sipping on it, so it's getting lower. I'm probably not going to put any more water in it at this point.
Yeah.
But I am going to see, because I liked what that explosion did with those 3 drops. So, I guess you could say I'm riding the dragon right now.
You are riding the dragon.
Now he's gonna start watching Game of Thrones and all that stuff.
No, that is lovely, man. With the little drops of water. Yeah, this would be one I would like to do my clear ice with.
Oh yeah.
And then you pour it and you start drinking it immediately, so you get almost a full force, and then you take that roller coaster ride as that ice keeps melting.
Yeah, and it just kind of opens up on you.
Oh wow. Yeah.
It's phenomenal. There's no doubt about it.
Oh wow. Oh, and I also keep my water room temp because
Same.
James Morgan, I see, is in the house. I'm sorry, I haven't been shouting everybody out, but Independent Joe. It's been good to us here.
Oh yeah, Independent Joe's
Joe's
an
a great
awesome
dude.
wrench.
Yeah, he's a
But
good dude.
we are at a lull. It's 7:49. My alarm's about to go off. Let me spin this thing.
Time to spin it and get another one up there.
All right, here we go. Good luck, everybody. And there's the alarm right there. So we hit it right on time.
Hey,
I'm trying to get good at this. Kathy Bates,
Kathy
check her out.
Bates.
It's rigged.
he couldn't make up
It's-
his mind, man.
That sexy voice herself.
That's right.
That cat, isn't that the same lady that broke that dude's ankles with the sledgehammer and that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's her stage name right there.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
I would not. Well, they
Yeah,
call
that
that
was
hobbling, right? They call that
Yeah.
hobbling.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I talked with my family about that last night, and we play cards online. My parents live in Arkansas, northern part up by Mount Magazine, and my son lives in Kansas City, and we play Cards Mania every Wednesday. Well, not every Wednesday, but when we can. But the next entry for Craft Distillery does everything in house is Woodinville.
They do not do everything in house. That is not true.
That's what the website says. So
They lied.
That is totally not true.
then they should have had Dueling Grounds on that list because I have 2 balls of Woodinville sitting behind me, and they
I
can't
love
touch
Woodinville.
Lincoln Pinch.
I love Woodinville. They are not a grain to glass company.
No.
There's some around here that are.
Yep.
Andalusia, Balcones.
I'll tell you the one I love out of Texas, and I don't like most Texas whiskeys, just to be fair and transparent. But Iron Root, they do it right. Because I think all the others try to be Kentucky bourbon.
Yeah.
And you cannot do that from Texas. And Iron Root's like, no, we are going to be what we're going to be. And I love their Harbinger is just a fantastic bottle.
Yeah.
And I love it for what it is.
Andalusia is not even close to. They're not even close to a bourbon. You know, they're single malts and peated smoked stuff, things like that. It's completely different, but really interesting. You know, unlike say like Garrison Brothers, his stuff. A few bottles that I've had have been really good, but then some of them are just like way over oaked. You know.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. You've got a 50-50 chance of getting a Garrison Brothers that doesn't hit you in the face with a cord of wood.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you've got to, so like my barrels, I check them once every 2-3 months.
Yeah.
Their barrels, they got to check once or twice every week. Because they are changing that aggressively in Texas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we get 30-degree temperature change here on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right now, it got up to low to mid 90s today, but it's gonna go down in the 50s at night.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I mean,
those barrels are going to be breathing like crazy, man.
In Texas, they could climate control their rick house and then charge $500 a barrel or a bottle.
Have
That's what they'd have to do, right?
Or dig a great big cave, basically, or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, to get them down, you know, to where it's below ground.
The
basically.
problem in Texas, if you dig too deep, you hit water. It's underground springs all over the place.
Well, unfortunately, I didn't send you this.
Ooh, that looks
this
tasty.
is the next single barrel bourbon I'm going to be releasing. It's just a straight bourbon.
Okay.
It's
That
7
looks as dark as this.
Yeah,
I think this is only 4.
7-year bourbon.
7 years.
Wow.
I'm pretty excited about this one too.
All right. Well, now I'm excited because if you're excited, I'm excited. It's like, I mean, you're the guy. You're the guy. If we're in a park and I see you start running, I'm gonna just I don't even care. I'm gonna run too. You know.
Well, I appreciate it. I'll tell you. So here's the funny thing about that barrel. So I reserved that barrel back in like January, and I went back recently a couple months ago, and I was just checking on barrels, and we tasted this one, and the master blender and myself and another guy, Tim Evans, the guy that's the Batman in the Fortnite, we're all there, and we all just like looked at each other and went, "This is the best barrel that has ever come out of this freaking warehouse." Like it is.
Wow.
It is so good.
All right, I'm gonna have to get on your site and become a member.
Now, you see
That's
what
all
I'm
there is
doing?
to it.
100, almost 150 proof, man. You got to chase some water behind it.
Yeah, you definitely got to get. Me too. I was doing Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, and water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
Woo!
Kentucky boy and living in Texas, so iced tea for me
There you go.
Yeah.
with the hint of lemon.
I like the water because if I'm trying to give these bourbons like accurate notes and everything, I just want the water.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not judging it now.
Yeah, and I'm not, but I am in my mind. I am in my mind.
Always.
Man.
Is that good?
It is, dude. The beautiful thing about this. It is unfinished. It's just a straight bourbon, and it's got so much going on for just a straight bourbon.
Damn, I'm like a moth to a flame now. I'm about to drive to South Carolina. Not tonight. I've had too much. I've had too much to drink. But hey,
so I debated on sending you this, and I thought, well, I already sent you once you get to Dragon Bones, it's kind of like game over, right?
Wow, man,
this one's going to be good. This one will be coming out. I'll probably send it out like in January.
I don't know if people can see it, but
still hanging on, isn't it?
You see those trails on that glass?
Mm-hmm.
And that's after adding 5 drops of water to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that is like that looks like my bottle of olive oil when I pour things.
That's right. Oh my God.
Oh, I just keep going back for one more drop. I do want to say, after adding those other 2 drops of water, the intense floral calmed down, and then I was getting a different ride.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a bourbon, or a rye whiskey that you can start full force at a couple of drops, or like we were talking about the clear ice, and then take the slow ride on the roller coaster. Man, I bet that thing would continue to deliver. Joey's in the house. STD, Square Table Degenerates. Welcome. And we are coming up on the hour. So
how do you want to get this bottle away?
Oh yeah, we have to give the bottle away. How about we give it away on this next spin?
Okay.
All right. So we'll just give it away in conjunction with the next spin, and then we'll have to get your email or whatever so they can contact you and say, "Hey, I won," type thing.
I'll put it in the chat.
So we are about to spin. Since we're doing this, hashtag Woodenville, and I'm going to highlight this comment right here. If you're not in for the spin, this is also for a bottle of, turn it over to Shane. What? Starlight. That's the port night, and it was excellent. Excellent. So get hashtag Woodenville in the chat. Hurry.
Hurry up, shoe man fool.
And I don't care where you are, I will get it to you.
Oh, right. Check him out.
I've got people in Hawaii. I've got people in Canada. We get our bottles out.
All right.
Hang on, I'm trying to cross my toes.
He's crossing his toes. So this spin I'm about to do is for 10 entries to the quarterly drawing and a bottle of the port night. So,
all right.
With that, I see Crazy Ann, Dave Bays got the entries in. Oh, Jimmy Lacari got it in.
Just snuck one in.
I'm going to give it just a teeny bit more. Shoeman Foo, he got the Woodenville in.
He's in.
All right, he's in. This might be the biggest. Oh yeah, we're up there now.
Mike Carrier's like me. He's got his fingers crossed.
All right, so I am going to share the screen. Oh, Jimmy's random content. So Jimmy got it in Woodenville. Jimmy. And we are at 19 entries. Now, if it lands on me, I'm gonna spin again. So that's just that. Because I can beg him for another sample. But,
Independent Joe's in.
All right, Independent Joe got in there.
Well,
So
if it lands on you, I'll give you a bottle and the next person.
and the next person. Oh,
Oh,
wow. See,
wow.
I feel so special
But
now.
you better hope it lands on you first.
All right, so I've shared it. And Independent Joe, I'm going to give you one more shot at that. It's an I, Woodinville. You put Woodinville, and the only reason I caught that is because I didn't see the entry go up to 20. So it's Woodinville. And if you can get that in right quick, I'm watching for it in the YouTube's chat. I have it simultaneously up here.
Come on, Joe.
There it is.
There
All
it
right,
is.
I'm gonna refresh this screen just to make sure.
Okay. Oops.
Hang on. Let me. I gotta put it back in again. Yes, it went to 20.
Okay.
Here we go. All right, y'all good? Everybody good?
Fingers crossed.
Here we go. Make sure everybody gets the entries in, and it lands on Mr. Great Guy.
All right.
What a time to win, man.
Heck yeah.
Totally rigged.
Totally rigged, but I would love to get me a sample of that stuff.
Sample,
Oh,
you get a whole bottle, my friend.
yeah,
Oh, excellent.
and guess what? My co-host will send me a sample.
There you
Of
go.
course I will.
There you go. Or
I'll send him a big old sample.
you can always drive over sample a whole lot.
Yeah, see, I'm within striking distance of where
That's
he
right.
is because Charlotte.
Actually, he's supposed to come visit sometime soon.
No, that's in the spring. Charlotte is an hour and 25 to maybe an hour and 30 to downtown Charlotte, right?
Yep.
So how far are you? And I'm on the other side of Charlotte from you. So how far are you from Charlotte?
Like I'm 40 minutes from the airport, but that's because I got to take back roads. So
Right.
I'm just across the border, like literally just across the border from Charlotte.
So we're talking 2 hours for me to get there.
Tops.
Wow. Yeah. So bam, because I would never go downtown Charlotte.
I
I
would never.
would just take the bypasses and then bam, I'm right down there.
There you
So
go.
yeah, congratulations, Mark. That is a beautiful bottle
Awesome.
you're about to receive.
Yep.
And it is just fantastic. But at this time, now you're welcome to stay on here, Shane.
Okay.
Let me get this next entry spun up here because I have 3 more, and it's the top 3. So let me do. Oh, and this is another one. Now, I like some of their releases. I do. Again, this is not my call. I didn't put this list together. I got it off of Up Rocks, and you know they're known for everything. Whatever. Peerless.
What the?
I know. Like I said, I did not make this list, and they have them at number 3.
What kind of bullshit list is
That is, yeah, it is. Now the next 2 though are on point in certain ways.
Okay.
And I've had good releases, very good releases from both of them, and now I've had very best releases from one of them.
Oh, fantastic. I think I know where that's going.
One of them Starlight.
Yes, South Carolina.
Yep, South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yes, and people don't understand too that North Carolina and South Carolina at Tennessee, Georgia's also right there.
Yeah, we
can get I can just do a few hour drive and hit a liquor store. The only problem is I can do that and hit a liquor store in Georgia, and just because Weller's is all over the place in Georgia doesn't mean you can get them at those liquor stores because they're all gone because people are driving across the border. Right?
If you want Weller's, I can send you all that you want.
And I don't care about the green labels, but I want the 107, and really I want the.
Out of all the Weller lineup, that's the one that I will go after. The rest of them, I'm like, even the full proof is like, it's all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
I never see that. All I see here is a green label.
Yeah.
But I like the CYPB. But of course, you're gonna pay for it if you find it.
Mm.
I got a bottle in my bar. That's one of the only bottles I don't have open because it doesn't appeal to me. I have it.
The CYPB.
Yeah.
Oh,
I will
man.
pick 107, especially the 107 picks.
Yeah.
I've got some 107 picks that are some of the best bottles I've ever tasted.
Excellent.
Let me see.
Yeah, I never see the 107 or CYPB or anything like that right here. All I see is the Special Reserve and, of course, Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
Regular old Buffalo Trace.
Oh, and I get that. And I call that barbed wire bourbon.
Yeah, it's just, it's there.
I mean, if you like
light.
earthy, grassy, backwoods bourbon, Buffalo Trace is all right, but it is a base bourbon. It is down there. It's on the harsher side. Like Heaven Hill has Elijah Craig small batch, right? I call it honeysuckle bourbon. It is like it tastes like a sweet tea with honeysuckle in it, and then but there's some you're getting your apple, your vanilla, your caramel, but then you get Buffalo Trace, and it's more of like those base notes. And if you dig deep, you can get like some grassy notes out of it or some earthy notes.
Yeah, but not much.
But it's still on that same level.
Yeah.
Way down there, few noted. And people go crazy over Buffalo Trace. And I'm like, Shoeman Fu in the chat. Yeah, Antique 107 is absolutely his favorite. We were drinking Pappy 20. I'm sorry, Pappy 20. And then they were charging maybe a couple of dollars less for the Antique 107, on a pour. I mean, we were getting Pappy 20 for $20 a pour.
That's dang. But I would still pick 107.
And he did too. Yeah.
Pappy 20 to me is just like, you're chewing on a log.
I mean, the silky, and I was more about the mouthfeel and the silkiness and all of that. And I was really, honestly, I was ignoring the notes for that feel.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what I was intrigued by. But I can get that off of my the Elijah Craig 18 year.
There you go. That's
some
of those are fantastic. The problem is with those, they're single barrels.
Yep.
So 2 or 3 out of 10 are going to be crap, and the rest are pretty darn good.
Right.
That's one of the better, and it's pretty pricey for what it is too, because they proof that way down. But It is phenomenal. I mean, there's very few bourbons that can make it to 18 years, in my opinion, and taste good.
Oh yeah,
Elijah Craig is one of them.
Yep. And I'm more going off the viscosity and the and all of that because honestly, I wasn't super impressed with the Elijah Craig 18, at least the one I got on the notes, but the mouthfeel was so much better than the regular Elijah Craig that I was like, okay, I didn't waste this much money on nothing.
That's right. Well, I've got a couple bottles here when you come of EC18 different barrels that they're hitters. Like they're like at the low proof that they still drink fantastic.
Awesome.
High viscosity, a ton of flavor, super easy to drink, right? Because they're lower proof.
Yep.
But it's like 7 out of 10 are great, and the rest are like meh. And you don't know what you're gonna get.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, that's the single barrel. Okay, I have to do the. I did the Peerless, but guess what? I forgot to do. I was the Put Me In. We're gonna do Put Me In. So while we're waiting,
Wait a minute.
we're everybody just type Put Me In. You get 5 entries to the quarterly drawing. I knew I forgot something.
You haven't spun up the Peerless yet, have you?
Not yet, but it's going.
Okay.
So here's Crazy Ann. Yeah, y'all got to keep me honest, man. A mic carrier.
Shane, how do I get a hold of you?
So email me at Shane@storytimedistillery.com.
Okay.
Send me your address and everything, and I'll get that bottle out to you.
Okay, awesome. Shane, it's story time. Storytime Distilling.
Storytime Distillery.
Distillery.com.
Yep.
Okay. I can't do anything right now because I got YouTube on the iPad and then stream
all
on
right.
my phone.
I'll put it in private chat just so you see it on the.
Okay, there you go. Okay, I seen it. It come up.
I'm gonna read these out in a minute too. I'm busy trying to keep up with the chat and write these in, but I will read them off. So if I miss anything, don't worry about it. You'll have another chance.
You want me to read them at you?
No, no. I got it. You keep talking. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. So what's coming up next? What's next on the agenda for
that's
bottle
the cognac
Shane?
and the Friday at Fred's and the Port Night Rises is what's coming next. There's a Starward single malt pick we did a while back that's going to get released soon as well. The guy, it's kind of been a back and forth conversation, so we'll get that. They're here, they're ready to go. I just got to get all the details worked out. That's if you've not had any Australian single malt, Starward specifically is fantastic. If you like scotches or you like the single malt whiskeys, this one is unreal. It was finished in a French oak. It comes off as a lemon poppy seed.
Wow.
It's really, really good. Really, really good.
I think that's the next big thing.
Yeah, that French
single
oak.
malts.
Oh,
well, no,
yeah.
Single malts in general.
For sure. So the single malts, what's happening is the community is growing. Our palates are growing. They're becoming more mature. And we're like, before we liked, Eagle Rare, Buffalo Trace. It was very, grape soda,
bourbon,
sweet.
Right.
in the middle of the road.
5 flavors in there. And now we're like, hey, we want more. Now, so what we did is if you notice, the kind of community in general has all started to migrate towards these higher proofs because we wanted more complex flavors. And you're only really going to get that when you get a barrel strength bourbon.
Yep.
Well,
so
people are tired of paying extra money for water.
Exactly.
I don't want an 80 proofer with 60% water.
That's right. That's right.
The whiskey.
And you want more. You want more going. So the thing about scotches and single malts in general is they do. So what we kind of poo-poo in the bourbon world, finishing is kind of like, you're masking bad bourbon by using finishing barrels, right?
Yeah.
But if you use a good one,
you're right.
You do it right, you're not.
But the general consensus is like bourbon is bourbon. This is how we do it. It's American oak, single barrel, new char, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But what's happening is now all the bourbon people are going, wait a minute, there's this whole other world over here with these used barrels.
Yeah.
And that's opening up everything. And so now everyone's that's been hunting these crazy to find bourbon bottles are now going after some Scotch bottles and single malt bottles.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, one of the best ones, if you can get your hands on it, is a Stranahan's single malt cast strength pick. If you can find one of those, buy it. Probably the best value for your dollar in all of whiskey. And I mean, all
of it, huh?
All of whiskey.
Damn.
Single malt cast strength from Stranahan's. They are amazing. And
all right, guys. Yeah. How much was it? 50 bucks. All right. Well, let me read these put me ins out right quick. And Kathy Bates, thank you. And I've got you down for your 100 entries there. But let me read the put me ins out. If I miss somebody, then we'll type it back in. Wait, did I? Yeah, I did get Chatty. I see him there. Okay. Crazy Ann, Mike Carrier, Mayberry U316, Mr. Great Shot, Kitty 303, Big Daddy H, Doug H, Shoeman Food, Jimmy's Random Content, I believe it was. I just put Jimmy's Random.
Yeah.
And then Kathy Bates, Chatty O, James Morgan, Sheba B, Fulton, Funky Uncle John, Newfoundlander, Ingalls Family, Art by Sparkle, and Kathy Bates.
There you go.
Those are the put me in entries. If I did not call your name, please type put me in the chat. If you want to get 5 free entries, there's NJ Garden Services. All right. Nick Jones.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
That's why I read them off.
Beautiful bastard.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm
Is that
going to
the bastard's
share
ball?
this screen, and we are going to
Fun.
spin for the Peerless.
Peerless.
And we have 16 entries on the wheel, and here we go, everybody. Good luck. And we're going to land on, and there's my alarm to spin it right there. It just happened.
Man,
Jimmy Lacari, congratulations.
You are on top of it tonight, Jody. Like,
Always not his first time around.
Yeah, not my first rodeo here. So
I love it.
trying to get the rodeo scheduled though. All right, here we go. This is the next to last one. This one is still worth 10, but the last one is going to be worth 20.
Number 2.
All right.
Well, I have to jump off here. I've got to take care of my puppies. They're needing to go to the bathroom. They're whining and stuff. So.
Oh yeah, no problem, dude. You were supposed to leave at 8, but hey, if you guests want to stay, I'll let them stay.
Well, I appreciate it. Honestly, it's been great. Jody, I'm anxious to have you come by, and we'll sit down and put the bar to work. You know.
I am going to schedule that. I'm going to schedule that with you, and I have you on my phone to text, so I'll coordinate with you via text message. Just so you know, before you leave, Starlight is their number one pick for the distillery that's coming up.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, they're doing so many things with finishes.
Yeah.
And which is what you need to do really with a younger bourbon to really kind of highlight it. And they do such a good job. And like I told you, in 2 to 3 years, they're going to be putting out those crazy unicorn bottles that everyone's trying to hunt now. I guarantee you it's going to happen. But they're just still too young right now. They don't quite hit that status. They will. And a great, if you ever go on a distillery tour, I would highly recommend you go on that tour first, because it is such a great tour. It's a little, like, you go there, there's like this little village, if you will. They've got a restaurant, they've got a bar, they've got a ice cream store, they've got a little fruit stand, and and you can go on a hayride around the property. It's been around for 100+ years. It's a great, great distillery to go visit. It really, truly is.
Nice.
And they're very proud of it. I mean, generations have been running that thing. So they keep it going. So I highly encourage you, if you ever go on one, that's the one. Starlight, and I don't remember the damn city. I can't remember it. But Huber's Winery or Huber's Vineyard, that's where you want to go. Huber's Farm. So, but anyway, Jody, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming on, man. Yeah, I'll be in touch with you. I will email you here soon or text you or whatever. We'll coordinate something. But hey, really appreciate you coming on, and it's been a good show tonight.
Awesome,
great chatting with you,
Mark. Don't forget to send me your email and address
Yes,
stuff so I can get you your bottle out.
Will do.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for having me. Enjoy.
Bye. All right, man. That was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I really like Shane, and that's going to be a hard act to follow. But yeah, I learned a lot from him, about what all he's doing and everything. And I had a whole list of questions, and that's the thing about Shane, is I had all these questions like typed out, and I do it for everybody. I type all these questions out on a sheet, on a document, just in case we hit a lull. And then I can go to my list and I can pick something and bring it up so that we don't have dead air. But I tell you what, there was no dead air.
I had a few more questions myself that I didn't get to.
Oh, I know. We may have to bring it back up again.
Yeah, just where's, some of the barrels I think are aging in Indiana and whatnot, but then the secondary ages on some of the stuff, where is that being aged at?
Yeah. Well, and some of it, he may be bringing the barrels home and aging it there,
down there.
So, if you're dealing with 1 or 2 barrels, you can do that stuff.
Oh, for sure. Well, I don't know. There's laws against that stuff as far as aging and rick houses and that kind of stuff too.
But he's got an NDP license.
So he should be able to age stuff in his own rick house as long as it's designated and yada yada yada.
Now, I will tell you this. One of the reasons I
Right.
fell in love with this Christmas one, it
Mhm.
was the Obtainium, is
Mhm.
it was aged in KBBS stout barrels.
Oh, really?
Now, another one though, from Virginia, and I got my hands on a bottle of it,
Yeah.
and I haven't reviewed it on my channel yet. And I'm hoping it's not going to be a letdown. I'm going to let you know what that's going to be right after this, but I'm going to share this out, and we're
All
going to do
right.
this spin. And good luck, everybody. This is for the last of the 10 entries, and then we'll get into the 20 entries to the quarterly drawing. But Garrison Brothers, here we go. And while I'm sharing that, ooh, I almost pulled my mic off. Let me, yeah, here it is. I know I'm not looking. I know somebody won, and we're going to say, Kitty 303, congratulations. I had
That's
to turn
3.
back around.
That's 3 for her today.
Kitty 303. Oh, that is 3. I'm going to draw again, but she will get those. So plus 10 on that one. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Doug H. Here we go. Doug H. Congratulations on that one. And now we're going to get into.
James.
Oh, I stopped sharing. Sorry, guys. I stopped sharing, but Doug H won. Doug H won.
I believe you.
Yeah, yeah, that's who that I wouldn't know. It came up. Sorry about the stop sharing, but I'm going to set up the next one. Yeah. So, and everybody already knows what this is. Starlight. So,
Starlight Distillery.
I'm going to start collecting, and I'm going to paste this in. Yeah, I hit stop sharing, and then you said, "Oh, that's her third time," and I was like, "Oh crap!" I have to spin again. This is the one I'm excited about.
Holland's
Ghost. It's
and
Reservoir. This
Reservoir?
is a very limited edition. It's a single barrel bourbon whiskey finished in an ardent stout barrel.
Oh,
And
interesting
this
label.
is from Richmond, Virginia here. Reservoir Distillery in Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
And look how
Hefty.
dark that is.
Yeah, that's really dark.
That is dark.
That's darker than
Yeah.
I don't know.
I am really excited about this.
Holy crap.
I am very excited about that.
Hopefully it's not all just oak slap you upside the head.
I hope not, but it's an what it is they had the whiskey and they went down the road to a local brewery and they got stout barrels.
Oh, that's why it's so dark.
Right. So
they aged it in a stout barrel.
Right. It's bourbon barrel aged stout. Oh. So there was bourbon in it. Then the stout was aged in it, and now the whiskey's aged in it.
They're re-aging to more whiskey.
Re-aging more bourbon in. And
that's going to be like coffee and chocolate.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Yeah,
it's going to be my next review. Now, with that said, tomorrow morning at like 9 a.m., it's supposed to, Mr. Hurricane's going to be here.
Yeah.
So hopefully I don't get power outages and all kind of crazy crap, and I can actually in the afternoon, shoot this because I need to shoot a couple of more videos before, because excuse me, next week we do have a show, but the week after that I'm on vacation with my family, and I may go live a little from my phone or something.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do a whole show. No guests, no show.
Okay.
So there won't be entries week after next. It'll be the only week. But we're going to Utah to a Blade show and then to Vegas. Wow. And I'm just going to be I can't pack everything I need to do the show.
Gotcha. Get you one of them smoke wagons while you're out there in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, uncut, unfiltered, boy. Oh,
yeah. I can get those here, but they're not always on the shelf.
No, not around me either. I picked up 2 bottles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But they bumped it up just a little bit from MSRP. But I'm like, hey, I never see it. So
I'm telling you this
gotta
though.
snatch it up.
I'm going to tell you this right straight up. Is that Lincoln Pinch up there
Yeah.
that I have is edging Smoke Wagon. It's the better bourbon.
Really?
Very
Holy
similar
crap.
notes, but the Lincoln Pinch is darker notes to it,
Mhm.
and it's heavily malted. I mean, I say heavy. It's not.
Yeah.
It's like 14% or like
Yeah.
12 to 14.
That's not much.
So, but we're about to get into Starlight here. And let me go ahead and share this out and then we'll start wrapping this up. But good luck, everybody. This is for 20 entries to the quarterly drawing. And I will make sure I keep sharing it until we have an actual winner this time, all the way down. Well, we had 2, but here we go. Good luck. Well, Fulton, what a time to win, man. I've been seeing his name pop by all night long, and he finally got the one with 20. All right. So the big winners tonight, I have to say, congratulations to Kitty 303. She pulled a Mike Carrier tonight. That's what I started.
Mhm.
Well, actually, she pulled a Kathy
Yep.
Bates. So Mike Carrier pulled a Kathy Bates, and then Kitty 303 pulled a Mike Carrier who pulled a Kathy Bates. So
There you go.
yeah. So
I only won once tonight, but hey, it was a good one.
hey, there's some people that just, man, I feel for them, and I don't have control over that StreamYard giveaway tool, and I'm like, come on, But that's why I put it down on the third win. You get them, you get your entries, but I spin again because I want to have different. I want to give everybody a chance to get some entries. But Kathy Bates won 5 times one night.
Wow.
Yeah, that wheel was being like it liked some Kathy Bates. That wheel did.
Everybody likes some Kathy Bates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kathy Bates tells the truth, and that's what I always tell people. If you want to hear the truth, ask Kathy Bates. She will tell you the truth.
Hashtag no filter.
Yeah. Yeah, just do it on a private stream and don't try to monetize your videos afterwards. You'll be fine. All right, man. Hey, I thought this was a great show. And let me bring up, make a quick announcement about who's going to be here next week. I do believe I remember who it's going to be, but I want to make sure and don't want to tell anybody anything wrong. So where's my guest sheet? Here it is. Of course, I have a spreadsheet for everything, right? So next week is going to be Angie Mason. Angie Mason Fluid Art.
Nice. She's live right now.
Yep, and she is. And but I told her she could leave a tiny bit early if she wants to. But that's the week. That's the last show before I go on vacation. After that, I have a special guest I'm not quite ready to announce yet on 10/20, but he's going to be fun, trust me. And then we have Joe Breda from Old Humble Distilling on the 27th. Chatio is going to be with us on the 3rd, and RB, the mayor, Richard Boyer, mayor of the colony in just north of Dallas, Fort Worth, in Texas.
I meet him once.
He will be here on 11/10. And that's about all the guests I want to shout out right now. But that brings us up, way up into November, and the guests are starting to book. What's up?
Oh, Kathy Bates.
Yeah, she said you be crazy.
I'm just slightly off.
All right. Well, and thanks, Dad, for the good show. I enjoyed it. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And I hope y'all have a great night. And any last words? Any last comments?
No, I agree with them. It's a great show. Enjoyable as always.
All right. Well, I've got some Obtainium, and I'm not going to drink any more bourbon tonight. I had a whole ounce and a half of 150 proof. So I think I'm going to drink a few beer and
Miller Lite
for you, baby. And just coast through the rest of the night. So thanks for joining in, guys. Join in every week except for the week after next. But I will give a few entries away that night. But not, it won't be the regular show. But thanks for joining, and hope you had a good time, and hope to see you back. All right.
Cheers, y'all.